So now we've covered a little bit about, your expectations and the discernment process. So I think now we should get to the main event, right? The main event, so that's the wedding. So how did your wedding look like? What was the wedding preparations, behind the scenes? What was that like?
We had only 3 months for our wedding preparation. And our parents have suggested us to read Bible together as a preparation.
Every day.
Every day.
So we kept reading Psalms 45 together at that time for a preparation of a royal wedding.
It's Psalm 45 is a beautiful prayer. I suggest anyone who is preparing for marriage, start to pray that. And because every wedding happens in heaven.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And so 3 months just gone so quick, and I had to fly all the way to India for the wedding, and it would be really hard for you to understand. As I said before, we just met for the first time just 8 days before the wedding.
Right.
So the day I landed, we met, and in the evening we packed the bags and gone to attend the marriage preparation course conducted by the Syro-Malabar Eparchy in Kerala. And fourth day of meeting in person, it was our engagement.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we had a 3-day break and gone into wedding. And 5 days after the wedding, I was flying back to New Zealand, leaving Dhivya in India, and she had to wait for like 3 months to get the visa approved. And when we looked back, everything was a rush. We always want to, when it comes to wedding, you always want to plan things accordingly, right? But we never had that opportunity. And this is where we tend to get that feeling that God is in control, and he's got a different way of doing things in our life. So since then, our relationship got really molded around relying on the divine prudence of the Lord. And that's what the story of our wedding,
Wow, I mean, that seems so rushed, right? Like, you guys had the 3 minutes in conversation, and then the 8-day wedding, 3 days before the wedding, you had the engagement. That seems, I mean, especially like nowadays, right, where everything's so prepared and planned and everything months ahead. It's mind-boggling, really. But different ways that Lord works.
Yeah, it is.
And well, I guess so the wedding celebrations happen, right? And then the guests all kind of leave. And then is that kind of when the realization kicked in that it's no longer just me, but it's me plus one. It's two people.
It is. Right. That's what the preparation, as we said, that 3 months been, I mean, even though we just met over video conferencing, that 3 month was a good time of preparation. And the marriage preparation course conducted by the Syro-Malabar Eparchy in Kerala, I really suggest everyone to attend it, because that's really good. After each and every session, they give us the opportunity to sit together and discuss. It comes to your finance management, it comes to your faith. So I've seen people decide not to get married after the marriage preparation course. That's a sort of preparation we had. And it was a rush. And we had a bit of an embarrassment story during our wedding as well.
Oh yeah, please. This is for you guys who are listening in. This is a pretty funny story. I had to listen to this already, but please tell me.
It's funny for others, but a bit of embarrassment for me. So our wedding has happened at the Cathedral Church in Changanasheri. That's my hometown in Kottayam district, Kerala. And our main celebrant was late Mar Joseph Pavathil. We've been blessed to have his presence. And when it comes to wedding, the first thing comes to your mind is that occasion of tying the knot. We call it Thalikata, right? For me, that turned up in a different angle, in a funny way. The way Mar Joseph Pavathil, we call it Pavati Pidava, the way Pavati Pidava has handed over this thread, he just left a long strand of thread, going beyond my reach, So the day before the wedding, normally your Chattamar and Chechimari will train you how to tie the knot, because there's a way to tie it. You are only using like 2 or 3 fingers, And if you get a long strand of thread, it makes it really hard. Okay, so in normal circumstances, the thalikat will go on for say 30 seconds. But in our case, the Talikat went for like 3 minutes. In fact, I gave 3 minutes for Dhivya to keep praying while my hands were shaking. And even in the video footage, you could see my sister just holding the laugh. It's a bit of an embarrassment, but end of the day, this is how God planned my wedding, So
yeah. And I mean, I can see Gigi laughing right now, but it would have been a pretty embarrassing moment for you, right? Like, It was just, I mean, I feel like I should be taking notes down right now, just to make sure that doesn't happen for me.
Not now, too early.
Too early. That is true. I am on the younger side. And, well, then after that, so you've had the wedding now, right? Mm-hmm. So the wedding's kind of passed, and then you've had a chance to think about, it's no longer 1, 2 as one. And there's so many major changes, right? Because it's not just you. You have to plan for yourself, but also the partner, right? And that comes into the decision making. So how did you guys go about the major decisions and like changes like that?
The major change was for her.
Okay, yeah.
Lot has changed after marriage. I have to leave my parents, my family back in India to join Francis in New Zealand.
And that would have been like, because that's a whole different kind of, cultural and like context would have been amazing, like different, right? So.
Yes. So I have to adapt to the new country while I am adapting as my life as a wife. So this was a bit stressful for me.
Not because of me. Same for me as well, I mean, all of a sudden, everything has changed. My solo decision making has come to a halt. Now I need to consult and peer review.
Peer review. I like that. That's nice.
With the life partner, with the wife, and it has come to the extent like we started exercising this. We decided before marriage to have one bank account, joint account, and try to have that consultation for everything, not just finance, everything. And even though that is affected in that way, when I look back, I can see like, I was gaining more and more confidence because the decisions which I was making is now being reviewed by someone else, which is your wife. And all of a sudden, your decisions are better. And this is how God works. You just need that prudence to understand that, this is all about married life. It's not just about you. You're no longer one. And I'm not always right. And Dhivya is not always right. But, we come to that common ground. And initially, we had to spend a lot of time to spend together to understand the charisms and dynamisms of each other. And that few months was critical in our life.
And Chaya, I think it's great that you brought up that point, right? And I really don't want a live demonstration right now, but how did you guys go about conflict resolution? Because that's important, right? In every kind of couple, how do you deal with that?
Look, there will be conflicts. As I said in the previous episode, there's two different dynamism, two different people. So there will be things, and as I said, it's not always I'm right. I always have to listen. But the conflicts, the conflict pattern is the same still, even after closer to 10 years. But I can say the way we handle the conflicts has changed as we grow more and more in maturity. So we even now look at the conflicts and we can say that conflicts tend to resolve by itself. And this is where family prayer and communication is very important. And these days, we come to that level where conflicts get resolved even before or during the family prayer. All right? And if it doesn't resolve, then we definitely take an effort to communicate and look from both angles, fix it. End of the day, your kids are also watching. You don't want to pass a bad message to them.
Perfect. So it's also to make sure that there's a positive and like supportive environment for them as well as for you guys.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And they are watching, right? So they'll pick up on every little thing.
They will.
And
they are.
and they are. And I guess, well, so we've got the conflict resolution. That was a big change, right? Because you're dealing with another person. But then time. Right? And like, I know both of you guys, full-time engineers, full-time workers and full-time parents, and you guys have your ministry, which is full on as well. We've got our Perth couples ministry going on. You guys are very active in that. And then social commitments. So despite all of that, like when you come back home and energy depleted, how do you find the time for one another? Like,
yes, as you said, we are both engineers. We work full time, and also we actively participating in the parish activities. And currently, currently we serve as animators of young couples, Syro-Malabar young couples in Perth.
In Perth?
Yes. So even though the days are busy, we will we managed to find some time together to have a good quality time, as with the kids, including kids. Yes.
It's mainly around even though we struggle to find the time, it's mainly around the time of your family prayer, having a dinner together. And we also have some sort of exercise to talk to them, to know more of what the kids were going through on a daily basis. It's hard, but personally I've been active with ministry life even from my days back in New Zealand, and even in Australia I've been in the catechism ministries of the parish, and also I've been heavily involved with the youth apostolate activities. This demands me to be away from family, sometimes for a day, sometimes for a couple of days.
Jed, I think was it the recent kind of trip that you had to Brisbane?
I've been to Brisbane, to Queensland as a part of one of the initiative of Youth Apostolate, and I was away for a week.
Yes.
And we got a story behind it. The moment I reached Queensland, Dhivya called me and said the family started to fall sick.
Both our kids, our Rachan and Teresa.
And we also got our parents staying with us as well. So during the event, all our kids got sick, and my mom also started getting sick, and I picturized Dhivya as like that, in cricket, the last batsman holding the bat and
trying to hold it down.
And we even had to put my 3-year-old Avarachan and a 3-month-old Teresa on hard medication at that time. But since we've been in this ministry approach, we know that God is in control. And this is not the first time we have seen things like that. So once you know God is in control, leave it to God and just rely on His will and just do your mission. Fulfilling the call in marriage is important, yes, and equally you need to fulfill your ministerial call as well. And this is where you need to find that balance. If you struggle, God is there to help you. And so far, we are doing good, right?
Yes.
Well, so far it sounds amazing, right? And I think maybe that's something that you kind of talked about, was finding that balance between like your personal life and the ministerial life, is making that your faith the foundation and the base of everything that you do, and trusting in God and leaving it in His hands.
Absolutely.
So that sounds amazing.